What's up, War Report family? It's your boy BWil, back with another edition of Betting with BWil. But before we get into today's content, you got to make sure you're going to our sponsor, BUSR.com. They got everything you need from sportsbook to casino and everything in between. So go there, BUSR.com/report. That's BUSR.com/RAPPORT. We want you to go there to make your bets with us, and we want them to know that we sent you. All right, let's get into it. War Report family, we are back with week 2 of Betting with BWil. If you caught our pick 3 last week, then you made some money because all of our pick 3s were correct. That's right, it was free for everybody on YouTube, and we'll drop another one this week. So for those of you who haven't jumped in yet, it's a great time to start betting with our sponsor, BUSR.com. We'll sweeten the pot a little bit with a promotion right now for the next 5 people who sign up through the link that's in our description right here. You'll get $20 for free to use on the site. Couple that with our pick 3, and you got a really good chance to make some money this weekend. So keep in mind, there is a rollover, and it's manageable at only a 3 times rollover. So if you don't know what a rollover is, head on over to the primer, the preseason 1, 2, and 3. We talked about rollovers over there, all right? So if you haven't signed up yet, go to BUSR.com/report and sign up to get you some free money, and we want them to know that we sent you. All right, so we got Georgia back home after thoroughly dominating Clemson in their season opener. Their offense was uninspiring, like we thought it would be, but their defense was the real deal. This was the best defense I watched play all weekend, and by a long shot. Bill Clark should be applauded for the work he's done at UAB. 2 straight conference title games, a conference title, and he just keeps refreshing that defense every year. We've got an experienced QB with Tyler Johnston, and they're going to win plenty of games in Conference USA. But this is another monster altogether. What I saw from that Georgia defense makes me question if the Dog offense would even need to score points to win this game. JT Daniels and the wide receiver core will need time to get going, but they won't really be challenged anytime soon. The spread is tricky because I can envision a 31-0 shutout or a 27-3 victory from Georgia. But after seeing that defense, I'm willing to bet the under without hesitation. So I'm skipping the spread and betting the under 45.5 for this game. I had Texas A&M not covering the spread in their opening game, and I was wrong. Don't get me wrong now, Kent State had their chances in the red zone late to cover, but A&M's defense did its job. That impressed me a lot. Going on the road is tricky though, especially in high altitude and foreign territory. Colorado didn't look menacing at all in the 35-7 win over Northern Colorado. They looked fine. Some penalties, some inefficiency, but they were a long way from looking competitive. The story of this game will be what the defense does. A&M holding on in the 4th against a better offensive team to keep them from touching the end zone was a pride thing, and it shows us who they are. I trust that defense on the road for sure, especially since defense travels better than offense, which is good because Haynes King had his fair share of mistakes. But when you can run the ball the way Devin Kane did, and when you don't have to worry about putting your young QB in harm's way, A&M can control the game on the ground and ride it to at least a 21-point victory in Boulder. No way to tell how many points will be scored since QB play is still a dice roll, so we'll stay away from the over-under, but definitely give me A&M covering by 17. In what's probably the best game of the weekend on paper, Mizzou travels to Lexington to take on Kentucky. Mizzou was very hyped coming into the season, but we here at the War Report, and yes, that means me, told you to hold your horses. Bazelak isn't the second coming, and their offense is missing key pieces to keep it from being great. That being said, their defense did play okay last week, holding Central Michigan to 24. Kentucky unveiled a new-look offense that actually looked new. The QB had one of the most efficient performances of the weekend, and they proved me wrong and covered a bad team by a lot. All right, you got my attention, Kentucky. Mizzou, on the other hand, got knocked down just a bit. Not that QB Connor Bazelak had a bad game or anything. He's just not the game breaker the offseason hype would have had you believe. With controlled, balanced drives and just a few mistakes, they stayed in control of the game. That's great against Central Michigan, but Kentucky may actually be able to put up points for us. And their defense can force a safe offense into some mistakes. I think a run-first, game-managing offense plays right into Mark Stoops' hands here. If Kentucky's offense is just kind of good, their defense should be able to hold Mizzou to less than 21 points. My guess is that would be enough for Kentucky to cover and have the rest of the SEC East start taking them seriously. Except Georgia. Georgia probably doesn't care. But I like Kentucky by 5. Okay, so that's our pick 3 from this weekend. You like what you hear? You got a better pick? Something that you really, really, really like? Well, let me know in the comments. Keep interacting and keep up to date with betting with BWil and everything else Auburn football right here on the War Report. Where you go?